She has a passion and a gift for helping people discover. Well, let me ask you this. Has anybody ever felt stuck at any point in their lives? Anyone? Anyone? Look around. Look at all those hands. Just about, at some point, just about everybody on the planet has been stuck in some way or another. True or true? And trust me, that includes me. Stuck. All right? How would you like to get through that, though? Good, because that is what she is an expert in. She helps you break through the barriers with clarity to move powerfully in the direction of your vision. If you're going to move in your vision, do you want to meander and kind of go slow, or do you rather go there powerfully? I'm sorry. Thank you. She's a multiple author, 3 amazing books. She's the CEO of a company called Viz International, which basically she quickly grew from just about nothing to the business, Women's Business of the Year in 2009. So she knows what she's doing, and she's pretty smart, and she's pretty amazing. She's been featured on all the networks, NBC, ABC, Fox, Hallmark Channel. She's been on over 250 radio shows, interviewed. She's worked with some of the most amazing personal development people on the planet over the last 17 years. And that includes Tony Robbins, Harvey Mackay, Chris Howard, and a whole bunch of other amazing trainers. And she's been with them, worked with them all. And she's here to share you some of the best of what she's got to offer. You guys ready for it? Because what she's done is she's incorporated all of the learning she's achieved over all those years, almost 2 decades, and you'll never believe that she's that old when you see her. And you're going to get to experience that tonight. So would you please help me give a huge welcome to Miss Bonnie Bruder!
Bonnie, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank
you. We have a quite impressive resume and pedigree.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, tell us. Like I said, you have an incredible background and pedigree. How do you get into personal development?
Well, you know, I get asked that question a lot, John. And essentially, I went through a period of my life where things were not going so well.
Okay.
I was 23 years old. I was fresh out of school. I was making $18,000 a year, 19 if I hit my bonus. And although I thought life was okay, you know, I pretty much just hung out with my friends. Yeah. Went to happy hour. Like, I wasn't really accomplishing much in my life. And unfortunately, I went through a horrible family tragedy. My mother became very ill. She was hospitalized for 3 months and then passed away.
So,
yeah, it was very hard.
Yeah.
It was a very difficult time. And, you know, during that time, my life pretty much stopped. I was at the hospital every single day. There were tons of surgeries and scares, and it was awful. And so as I came through that, thankfully I had an incredible boyfriend at the time, and he was very successful and very driven and very, very motivated. And, you know, he realized that I needed some help and I needed some guidance in my life. And so he pretty much drugged me
He was there for you.
to a Tony Robbins seminar.
Nice.
And so I grew up with kind of the mindset, although I had amazing parents, you know, their philosophy was more Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will. Don't get your hopes up, you'll just be disappointed. These are things that I heard growing up.
Yeah.
And so I was always ambitious and I would accomplish things, but those were, you know, the messages that I was taught. So I never really, you know, excelled tremendously. It was just kind of like I could do anything I put my mind to, but there was always that fear or that it won't last, or, you know, this is too good to be true. So the whole world that was opened up to me with Tony Robbins was very different and very unique, and it was like crack for me. I had one taste and I was hooked for life.
So you're hooked for life.
Yeah,
nice.
And so essentially, you know, I learned skills and strategies there, and I immediately started to apply them in my life. We went through this one exercise that I remember where he has you write down your goals, and he has you write down the vision that you want for your life. And I'm sitting there, and I literally am like, I have no goals. No one's ever asked me what a goal is. I don't know. So I just started to think of people that I knew in my life that seemed successful or that may have goals. And I took a piece of paper and I just started writing down, run a 5K, take a yoga class, take vitamins.
How did that feel?
Amazing. So these were not big things, right? These are just little things.
Short goals.
Get a raise, you know, because I thought maybe I'll make 20. You know, I really didn't have that mindset. So what happened was I put that piece of paper away and I went back into my life and I got back to work, my $18,000 a year job. But my whole physiology, my philosophies, everything had changed. And so eventually I started to achieve and move in the direction of those goals. So within a couple of months, I got a raise, and I was now making $33,000, which again is not a lot by any means, but it was almost double where I was before. So that was a tremendous accomplishment. Yeah, this is back in the day before Google, so I didn't know what a 5K was. I had written it as a goal. So I literally had to go to the store where you buy your running shoes and look up on the community board, and I couldn't find a 5K, so I found a marathon, and I signed up and I ran that, which then spawned a 10-year career as a triathlete where I competed all over the world.
From one thing to another, wow.
Yeah, even competed in Ironman in New Zealand in 2004, which I finished.
I don't know if I can compete with that yet.
Which is, pretty amazing. So, so it just basically taught me that if you can dream it, you can do it. If you believe it, you can achieve it.
Totally agree.
And so I just started to continually move forward. I was constantly writing down my goals and what I wanted to create and accomplish. And I basically, started to, anything that I would put on either a vision board or a goal board, I would achieve. So within a year, I was making $100,000 a year. And mind you, I was 24 years old. So that is pretty remarkable when you go through
from 28 and jump up to
18 to 33 to 100.
Wow.
Was how I went. And so thankfully the internet.
That is success. That is accomplishment.
Well, financially, yes, that's one part of it. But, what happened is the internet came on the scene, and I saw this innovation, and I saw that was the direction things were going. So I jumped into that, and then, just kept going from company to company and constantly growing my career. And so with that, I went back and I went through all of the programs that Tony Robbins offered. I mean, anything I can get my hands on. I was crewing, volunteering at his events. And then in 2000, the economy shifted and the internet industry was starting to crash. And I just started to realize what was really important to me in my life, because I had seen this huge, woo! And thankfully I never was a victim of, the pink slips or anything like that. But I saw the writing on the wall, and I realized that I wanted to do something more meaningful and more important. And so I applied for a job with Tony Robbins, because now this became my passion. Anytime I had a weekend or a week off, I was going to these personal development seminars. And so I ended up working for him. I got a job in his office. I worked doing corporate sales and getting people coming to his events, and then eventually went out on the road and went through, for 6 years, I was on the road with him, and I was hand-trained by him, which is very unique. There's not a lot of people.
There is.
There was a team of 8 of us that he would bring out on stage, and he would say, this is my right arm. I've trained them myself. They know what I know, and I have them coach my people.
And this is what you wanted. This is what you wanted from the beginning.
This was my dream.
Nice.
So, and
it came together. I mean,
it did. It wasn't my dream until I saw it, and then I visually saw this. Oh my gosh, that's what I want. So the other thing that was great about Tony is that he, a million things are great about Tony, but was especially in relation to the question that you asked, is that he wanted the best of the best. So whatever was hot, whether it was Stephen Covey, spiral dynamics, the DISC model, anything that was innovative in human potential, he would fly in that expert and train our team, because he wanted his team to know the best techniques and the best strategies. So I was given this education that is world-class and that doesn't exist even anywhere else, and it was phenomenal. It was an incredible experience. And I've always been a learner. Even as a small child, I always loved to read. When kids were watching cartoons, I was, Mom, can we go to the library? And I always wanted to learn. So for me, this really fit that need. That really compelled me, into making this a career. So I worked with him in total from my first seminar until I left, 10 years. And then I took a job as director of production for another company called Christopher Howard Training, which is a neurolinguistic programming, neuroassociative repatterning, and presentation and platform skills and hypnotherapy certification company. So my office essentially was watching trainers teach this to thousands and thousands of people around the world while I ran the events. So again, was given thousands and thousands of information and teaching of hours of learning and skills.
That's a busy schedule. I can imagine how tough it is.
It was, and also just incredible, so rewarding. So then from there, in 2008, I went out on my own, and I developed my own coaching and consulting company, and I worked with Harvey McKay, who wrote Swim with the Sharks. He's a global business training sensation, author and speaker, and just all-around incredible person. So I worked for him for 3 years. I managed a very elite mentoring program where he mentored 35 CEOs.
Now, these are some of your biggest mentors that, in your journey, right?
They are, yes. I've been so blessed to have incredible mentors. In addition to Tony and Harvey, I worked with Alex Mendozian, who's a very famous internet marketer. He worked on the Thigh Master, which everybody knows, and Super Smile.
Yes.
Was really instrumental in the whole As Seen on TV movement and how some of that marketing is done. So I learned the marketing skills. I just had incredible clients, and I feel so blessed every single day to have been exposed to that information. And in addition to that, I have a private practice, so I see anywhere from 15 to 25 coaching clients per week, and all over the world. So I do Skype sessions, I have an office in Chelsea where people come, and then I also do a lot of corporate work. So I have 10 certifications in whole. I'm certified as a life coach in neuro-linguistic programming, neuroassociative repatterning. I'm a holistic health practitioner, yoga instructor, comparative nutrition, and then most recently graduated from Columbia University's internal coaching intensive program.
You have some good resume.
I love to learn.
I love to learn.
Love to learn. But why I love to learn is because I love to teach others. I love nothing more than to take somebody that has a challenge in their life and isn't where they want to be, and to show them the steps of how to get there. And I think it's mainly because I discovered human potential in a time where I was in so much pain in my own life. So after the loss of my mother and not knowing what I wanted to do, and somebody did that for me.
So you want to give that back?
I want to give that back. And it's not easy, but it's not complicated. It's something that anybody can learn.
You love to do that. You love to help the other people, and
I do.
You want to see good in others as well.
I do.
That is good.
I do.
That's very nice of you. Well, why the name AskBonBon for the show?
So it's really funny. I actually was a little bit nervous about that name for many reasons. The bonbon is the chocolate ice cream that you get at the movies and so forth. But we did a lot of market testing. I have a very large social media following. I have about 10,000 people that are following us through Facebook. And so everybody kept saying, no, do AskBonBon, AskBonBon. So essentially the name came about because it was from high school and probably earlier on. That was my nickname. So all through high school, all through college, bonbon, bonbon. And then as we got a little bit older, I thought surely it would go by the wayside, but it hasn't. And then now, as I've become, an auntie to all of my girlfriends' children, everyone calls me Aunt Bonbon. So I had to keep it. But then I have 2 little nieces that are constantly, they call on the phone, Aunt Bonbon, which I absolutely love. But the ask part came from the fact that everyone is always asking me things my entire life, whether it's they want to know what's Tony Robbins really like, or they want to know what should I do about this or what should I do about that. And so that is incredible, and I feel very honored. When anyone asks you something, it's very...
AskBonBon.
Yeah. But then also, I have had the ability through all of my coaching and working with 7,000 people all over the world and some of the top thought leaders, globally, to ask them and to observe questions that they're asked. So the whole ask is a real big piece of this. The whole show is going to be interviews with different people that have done incredible things throughout their careers and their lives and overcome insurmountable odds by most people's standards. So it's all about, that's kind of the inception of how AskBonBon came along, but then it will be me asking people, what do you believe about life? What do you believe about overcoming?
So what can viewers expect them to learn by watching this AskBonBon show?
Well, hopefully, whatever they're looking for. We really have put a lot into the programming. We've secured incredible guests. Just a couple of, just to give you an idea of the talent that we have that will be involved with the show, Giles Dooley, who was a fashion and war photographer. And in 2011, he was traveling in Afghanistan with a U.S. battalion, and he stepped on a landmine and lost 3 limbs. And has gone on to be just an absolutely incredible inspiration.
Brave man.
Yeah, an activist. He works very heavily with the Invisible Children Foundation. We have Lisa Ruoff, who was a yoga instructor and still is, but she went to Haiti after the earthquake to volunteer and had this epiphany that she wanted to create a career where she took people just from regular communities and took them into these catastrophic situations and brought in healing and yoga and had people actually literally rebuild communities. We have Wags and Bags, which is a New York-based pet company run by one medical engineer and one very high-level, he works in brain surgeries. And as just on a whim, they decided to start a dog walking business on the side one day, and now it's phenomenally successful.
Wow.
We have different authors, speakers. We have JT Talent, which is a talent agency here in New York, which helps people's dreams come true. In another way. We have Alan Chan, who is a very talented lawyer, but also started the Alan Chan comedy team. The comedy team, yes. Yeah, which teaches so many people and makes people laugh, which is so important in health and wellness and well-being. We have people that have overcome cancer. We have people that are just dedicated to holistic health. We have a very handsome ER doctor that it teaches at Columbia in the teaching school and is very involved. Yeah, so really just an incredible set of inspirational people that have done incredible things. And the whole purpose is really to teach and to share and to show others, because we all have our challenges. We all have those dark days and those things that you feel that you can't overcome, or you just don't want to get out of bed. At least I do. I assume everybody does.
Yes. We all do.
We all do. And so here, my whole goal is to expose, the masses, to expose everybody watching and, online and on the MNN network, to really let them know that you can get through it. And number two, you can create anything that you want in your life. Yes, regardless of what's happened in the past, we don't care. We can help you get the tools and the strategies to get where you want to go.
There's people out there who can help. And AskBonBon.
Yeah.
You're there.
So that is the whole purpose of the show.
It's very, very nice. What's the biggest challenges in life, and how do you overcome them?
Me personally, wow, I feel like I've had a lot. I feel like there's some people that have gotten in the line that got a few more than others. Definitely growing up with a sick parent. My mom became ill when I was about 8 years old. And so from that...
you were young.
Yeah, very young. And so from that point on, I was pretty much on my own. And I don't mean that I didn't have two parents living in a house and I had a roof over my head and we had food and heat and all of that. But emotionally, all of the attention went to her. And all of it had to. All of the resources, there was never extra money because we needed it for medical bills. And the caretaker, and my father's attention was on her. And then I compensated. There were two other small children, so I compensated, and I pretty much helped raise, if not play the mother role, in at least one of the children.
Pretty much mature from a really, really young age.
Yeah, so that was very difficult. And then, of course, losing a parent. She passed away when I was 23. So that is a very it was challenging, and also it's been a blessing in that I learned very early on what's really important. And it's not material things, it's not, this, that, or the other that most people are focused on.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful every day for that gift, but at the same time, it was a huge challenge. There's so many. I've had a lot of heartbreak. I've had a lot of...
What are some of the biggest accomplishments in life?
Well, let me just cover a couple more challenges, and then we'll go into accomplishments.
What else?
Yeah. I've had a lot of heartbreaks. I definitely have been the little girl that played Barbies and would make them get married, and I always wanted that. And I've had a couple of close calls, and then for whatever reason, the person didn't want to have a family, or they wanted someone else, or just didn't work out, and that was challenging.
Yeah.
I also had to overcome a very serious medical condition myself, where I had to fight for 5 years, and I went through 9 surgeries, and I had many, many doctors that told me, it's not possible, you can't do this. And I just kept pushing and pushing, and I would just go next, and I would go to a different doctor, or I would try a different technique. And thankfully, the last surgery, which was over 3 years ago, worked. And so things
you believed in yourself, you kept going, and you didn't stop there.
But that's hard. I mean, when you're when you're day
absolutely.
to day. At 1 year, I counted. I went to 48 doctor's appointments, and some of those are MRIs and they're tests, and and you're doing that by yourself. That's hard. That was really hard. But it taught me to appreciate every morning. Every morning I wake up and I feel good. Is a great day. So
Well, what do you want the viewers to leave? What do you want the viewers to leave with to watching the show?
Well, you know, you had asked just a minute ago about accomplishments, and I think that that's really what I want to leave the viewers with. I want them to know what they want to accomplish in life, and then for the show to give them the tools and the strategies on how to do that. So, you know, for me, I shared some of the negatives that I've been through in my life, but some of the positives.
You've been through them, which was very hard.
I've been through them, and I've learned from them, which is the most important thing in life, I believe.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, I've been able to accomplish a lot too. I've put my mind to things. I have started many businesses. I've been behind 7 different companies, some of which I've sold, some of which I'm still operating, one of which, most notably Dirty Dog, has gone on to be licensed in 5 different countries around the world, in China, in Canada, Mexico, and then we have 2 companies licensing it in the U.S. I did an Ironman, which is one of my most proud physical accomplishments. It was a 15-hour and 45-minute day, but
I haven't done that yet.
I did it. I've authored books. I've been on national television shows, and I have been able to create whatever I can put my mind to. If there's something that I have a dream about, that I've been able to figure out how to do it. Now, I'm not saying that's easy. There's been times when I didn't know how I was going to eat. I didn't know how I was going to pay the rent. There's been times when I was in tears and I just was sure that I had to give up, but I never did.
But you didn't.
I always persevered and I always pushed through, and that's what I really want to inspire people that are watching to do. If they have something that they want in their life, if they want to, you know, attract in a partner, or if they want to start a business, or if they're struggling like I have, and that many thousands and thousands of people I'm sure watching are, that it's okay. There's another side, and there's people that will support you, and there's things that you can do to get through it.
Absolutely. Totally agree. Very nice. Very nice, Bonnie. I want to thank you for having you here today.
Well, thank you. It's been an incredible experience. We're very, very excited, and we hope that, you know, everybody that is watching the AskBonBon show enjoys it, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode.
Thank you.
In a place where things just weren't going so great. Has anyone felt like that? You know, you're kind of stuck, you don't really have what you want in life. And so life was really out of balance. I was sad, I was making $18,000 a year, I had no direction, no real idea of what I wanted out of my life. And I literally had tears streaming down my face. I'm so tired. I just want to go to bed, but I have to get to work. I just knew that I was stuck. I was in pain. What I'm most passionate about in life is helping women like you figure out what it is they want and how to get it.
And I was listening to a top thought leader talk about how you could truly have whatever it is you want in your life.
Somebody tell me how I could have whatever I want in my life. And I had a lot of resistance. You know, things weren't going great, I wasn't making much money, I was sad, I was lost. And so I sat there, but I was open, and thankfully I did, because what I learned changed the trajectory of my life forever. But 95% of the population never writes down their goals. They don't spend any time thinking about what it is that they want in their life. They just go through life, they take what comes to them. In addition to having a lifelong passion for goal setting and for teaching women, I have a very strong background in personal development. I traveled with Tony Robbins and Harvey McKay and many other great gurus that most people have heard of for 17 years. And I've coached over 7,000 people and have 9 different certifications. And just this practice alone of writing down your goals has truly transformed my life and thousands of other people's lives. My promise to you is that I'm going to give you 3 keys that you can implement in your life right away to get unstuck from wherever you are and to start living your vision. You need some help, right? You need someone to help you and get out of where you are and get to where you need to be. The practice of writing down your goals, you're able to bring that into your life. Power focus and thoughts are things, and continuously go back and read your goals and they will become reality. And so I put that piece of paper away, and to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know if I ever looked at it again until 1 year later. I was going through a move. I went through some old boxes and I found some letters. And I opened it up and my heart skipped a beat. Not only had I accomplished every single thing on that piece of paper, and then some, but to share with you the power of just writing down your goal. All I did was write it down. I didn't even know what they were at the time. There were things that seemed so foreign. There was no path. There was no idea of how I was going to get there. But I wrote them down, and by doing that one exercise, it made them come into reality. I made choices in life that allowed that to happen. So that's the first key, write down your goals. Persevere and to take action every single day. Many of you have probably seen the smash hit movie, The Secret. Did everyone see The Secret or have heard about it? Yeah, great. Excellent movie, excellent book. The challenge I have with that is that it takes more than just thinking about something. We can't just think about something and then all of a sudden, poof, it comes into our reality. And so, even in the word attraction, which is what this is all about, our thoughts truly are things. We do think something negative or positive and it pulls us into our reality. But in the word attraction is the word action, right there. And so the second key is that you need to take action in the direction of your goals every single day. Now, maybe you have a situation where your finances are troubled, or you need to, improve that area of your life. Well, just ask yourself every single day, what is one action I can take? Maybe I don't get that $3.68 Starbucks latte today. Maybe I save that. Maybe I start...